Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. As promised, I picked Breaking Bad back up and I'm watching it again. And I just finished watching episode 8 of Breaking Bad and it was really a lot to take in. So first and foremost, we found out that Skylar's sister has a therapist for her kleptomania. We found out that Walt is losing his ever-loving mind. We found out that the cop is like a lot more sadistic and weird than I thought. And I have something I want to say about that, like before I say anything. And we also found out that, I think I already said that Walt is losing his mind and that the Tuco guy is basically stalking them. There's a hit on Jesse and Walt right now. So first and foremost, I want to talk about this officer because it really gave me the ick in like 14 different ways. The first way being that it reminded me of the Vanessa when Kobe Bryant died, right? And you had officers sharing photos of the crime scene. That's something I never thought of until the Kobe Bryant case. You don't think of like, okay, here are these honorable people in this job. You know, they get to the crime scene first, they're responding to crime scenes. You don't really imagine that they would be taking these photos, but they do. They do for work. And just like with any other sort of business, you know, there's human error. There's sick individuals. And Hank, Walt's brother-in-law, is one of these sick, disgusting cops, sending crime scene photos to a school teacher. We get the first scene, which is Tuco beating the crap out of his henchman. And he kills him, pretty much. Walt and Jesse are disgusted by this. Because you gotta realize these are, of course they, you know, sell drugs, but other than that, these are good people with like a set of morals. They don't, I mean, Walt killed somebody, but he didn't want to. Jesse dismembered a body, but again, they didn't want to. These aren't things that they wanted to do. And you can really just see like the degradation of their psyche. You can see Walt start to get like ultra paranoid. Like he dissociates when he gets home after that. Skylar's calling him. She's like, dude, did you not just hear me calling you? And he's like, oh. And then he tries to have sex with her and she's not willing to. That scene was so uncomfortable because like at first I thought he was like crying. It seemed like he was crying when he was hugging her and like stroking her on the back or whatever. It seemed like he was crying and he was just looking for like a hug or something. But then he turned it into like a sexual thing. And like, I understand he was probably trying to like wipe his mind off of what he had just witnessed, but that's a turn off. Like, I don't know where you've been. You're not talking. You're obviously, clearly disturbed and dissociating. Why would I then want to perform coitus with you in the kitchen? And then their son is almost home. So yeah, it was a really uncomfortable scene to watch. What I really appreciated was Skylar kind of standing up for herself because I'm on her side. She's pregnant. She's the one who just found out her husband has lung cancer. And the officer is like, hey, you should pay more attention to your sister. She's going through a lot right now. She has a therapist for her kleptomania. Now, I understand that like returning somebody's call is rather simple, but you have to understand that Skylar is like, she's a high-risk pregnancy. She's almost 40. She's super stressed. She's almost, you know, it's almost her due date. So her emotions and her hormones are all over the place. And to have, you know, the theft, almost being arrested on top of, you know, everyone paying, this is her perspective, people paying more attention to her sister than they are to her. Of course she would blow up. It makes sense. And then she's also wondering where Walt and her son are. She doesn't really know where they are hour by hour throughout the day, which is also causing her unnecessary stress. Another thing I kind of want to talk about is I appreciated how Walt kind of walked Jesse through, like, hey, yeah, you have a gun, but you need a plan. So 2 bullets for him, 2 bullets for that guy. Then what? And are people around? What are you gonna do with the bodies? And then what? And so Jesse he can't even open the gun, right? So like Jesse is like, okay, yeah, we need a better plan. I don't know how this bean thing is gonna work. I don't understand how they expect to get him to do this special bag of meth without him being like, okay, you try some first. You know what I mean? That's what people always say. Like, people aren't stupid like that, especially not a drug lord. Hey, we made this special batch just for you. He's obviously gonna be like, you take some first. And then Walt's obviously not gonna take some, or Jesse, because they're gonna die, and then he's gonna know that these are laced. These are not good for consumption. And so the next thing I wanna talk about is the expert foreshadowing in this episode. Because we see when the big guy, I think his name was Gonzo, rolls his colleague's body under the car, he's like, this isn't Christian. We shouldn't be doing this. You know, like rats and buzzards and stuff are gonna get to the body. This isn't good. And then you see, once he bends over to roll the body under there, you see that the cars kind of shake that are in that little tower. So it's foreshadowing that, okay, once we get to the end, we find out that, hey, he wasn't actually killed by Tuco. He tried to go back for the body and probably give it a proper burial, but he ended up getting crushed. All in all, I just want to say that this episode was definitely like a 9 out of 10. I say 9 because, you know, I feel like the pacing was kind of slow in some points, but we did get a lot of information here, and we did get, we did get a lot of good progression in the story so far. What I feel like could have been done better, and this is my only complaint, was like the paranoia. You know, we did see Walt jump, you know, we did see Jesse buy a gun. We saw that stuff, but I feel like the paranoia could have been done a lot better to make it a little more dramatic when Tuco's in the back of the car, right? At the end of the episode. I'll see you in the next video.